The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, expect a stricter school environment. That from Education Minister Gladys Hannah Martin after a number of violent episodes on school campuses this past semester. Also, the Department of Immigration standing on business, much to the pleasure of many Bahamians. Wait until you hear what they did this week. And also, what are your thoughts on this? I really want to hear this. Ban fast foods entirely from family islands. Former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis says that is the direction to go into when it comes to having international fast food franchises on family islands. We'll talk about that as well. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. Well, Minister of Education Gladys Hannah Martin is implementing and already giving a sneak peek into the new school year and how campuses will look. It's a number of requirements that she's asking be brought onto school campuses by students, by persons hoping to visit the school campus that have no business there, how they will be accommodated, and so much more. For good reason. You all will remember just recently, we're not even going to talk about the entire school year where parents show up and fuss with teachers and people come onto school campuses who don't belong there. Just think about this. In Grand Bahama alone, twice this semester, a principal who wore many caps on the campus of Grand Bahama, one of the campuses there, was violently attacked. She had to be flown into New Providence, and then a similar incident happened on another school campus in Grand Bahama. It really is quite troubling, and it's good to hear that the Ministry of Education is now stepping up and standing on business. Well, I'm going to begin right there this evening, because if you remember, one of the unions that represent teachers was highly upset and called for stricter measures. Well, tonight she's getting her wish. I'm going to bring in the Hot Topics panelists, Beyond the Headlines contributors. Welcome to the show, Peggy Candace and Ellington Ferguson. It's good to have you both here. And let's jump right in. This is good news, isn't it?
Yes,
It's so much distraction on school campuses. When adults show up and behave badly, you certainly don't need that in addition to everything else.
Good evening. Thank you for having me, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Great news. Love hearing it. I look forward to it being implemented. We have had a history of violence, especially at the beginning of the school year. Seems like everybody is doing their own thing. And so this year, I'm so happy to hear the minister having plans to implement to protect our children. Education is a key thing. Giving them breakfast is one thing. Making sure they have a safe learning environment.
Yeah.
And so I applaud you, Minister. I applaud you, the brave administration, for stepping forward and making this bold, decisive decision to stand out there, protect our children, put things in place, whether it be, they say, securities escorting parents and visitors on the school grounds, more presence, more involvement in securities when the children are waiting. Do we pick up all of that?
Very important. And
yes.
You know what, Peggy, as before Ellington jumps in, I hope it includes as well better trained security guards.
Yes.
They don't just give somebody a job to sit in that little tent, that little building. That's
phones.
At the gate. And that's what they TikTok in more than they watch in the school.
Yes. And so it is welcomed by this grandmother who have two little babies going to government school. And so I'm so pleased and just look forward to things improving on the school premises and improving in this country.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Certainly it's a pleasure to be here. Shanique, this is a wonderful initiative that's long been waiting. I must applaud Honorable Minister Gladys Hannah Martin and the Progressive Liberal Party administration for implementing these new measures into our school. Our school need to be a learning ground, a ground where children can go in and learn, and not this war zone that it has become. Like the initiative she talked about, and as you mentioned about security, she talked about having former police to head her security advisory team. And like you said, we need to have persons in the school with security.
Yes.
They also has the stuff that they pat them down with. The name slipped me right now. The metal detector. Again, we don't need people that who we just trying to give a job to somebody. We need people that are strong, that these are young men especially, and trust me, recently our young ladies can have some reverence for men and women that are strong and are healthy, that can handle the job, that are up to the task. As we talk about security, we need to also look at the perimeter fencing. One thing I've learned that students do, so you got the metal detector at the gate, so they walk around the sides and they put the stuff by the fence and go inside the gate clean and then walk by the fence and collect it. We need to have a buffer fence,
Yes.
at least about 5 feet apart or 6 feet apart, where people cannot access to put on the inner fence like that. And so those measures along with camera. And parents need to understand clearly. We need to send a strong message to parents. This thing where you go to school and you either get involved with other students or teachers over some issues that would take place with your child will not be tolerated. We need to put measures, stiff measures in place to deal with these things. These are learning zones, and we need to enforce to our children that your education, we're serious about this, we're serious about developing this country and developing you.
No,
And
absolutely.
Shanique,
Keep them safe zones. Yes, Peggy.
One thing I also want to call on the parents to embrace this. I know there are a group of people who wake up every morning with this assignment to complain and nitpick. The thing about it, I know I can almost say that they'll say, oh, they could create in a prison. Our children and go, no, it's not about a prison environment. It is about protecting our children. And
Listen, for the principal who was attacked unprovoked by a man who came under the pretense of collecting his kid's report card.
Yes.
For that principal to spend considerable amount of time in hospital, and I saw a photograph of her headed back to Grand Bahama, still bandaged. Listen to me. Prison or not, if you want your kid to be safe, we see all this other stuff unfolding on school campuses, then you would applaud this effort and be very happy that your kid now has a better opportunity to focus on what they're there for, learning.
Yes.
It's important. Yeah, it's important. I want to move forward and ask you all about this. We see that the Minister and Ministry of Works is getting ready to ramp up its demolition of shanty towns again. Minister of Works Clay Speeding made this announcement. He said before that, listen, as soon as this new budget, this fiscal year gets into motion, they're going to pick it up. And of course, this is exactly what's announced. They have identified 2 shanty towns here in New Providence to begin with, and have sent teams to investigate what's developing in various family islands. We know Andros was pointed out to the minister that, listen, go check out Andros, because that's something that's burgeoning there. Your thoughts about this, and then how do we ensure that they don't run from one shanty town and go and create another, like in Apico? You know, after Dorian, people were like, yeah, wow, okay, let's start fresh. Well, now there's a bigger shanty town. The name escapes me at the moment, but there's a bigger shanty town in Apico. And so we don't want these illegal communities to continue sort of springing up wherever they spring up and degrade the quality of life for many law-abiding citizens, whether they be naturalized or naturally born or rightfully Bahamian. But we just want people who are here to obey and abide by the laws.
But we need the different agencies and ministries to work together when it comes to mitigating the transforming from one shanty town to another shanty town, who are supplying them with electricity and the different amenities to live in these areas. And so we need them to be vigilant, along with the Ministry of Works, who is doing the demolition of illegal structures. Also, we need the police, immigration, and any other agency working together. And one thing I would say to the government is this: any complaint, if Bahamians point out a situation, move to correct it. Don't look at it as attack or they talking down. They're actually complaining is helping you, you know. If they say, oh, they move over there, then you go over there and you check it out and continue to do, yes, follow up. And I see Minister Clay Sweeney say they already give over 200 eviction notice, so they're well on their way. And don't slack your writing. Continue to do a great job.
Shanique, I continue to have an issue. I love the work that Minister Clay Sweeting is attempting to do. I continue to have an issue in the manner that we're doing this. I think as a country, we should have issued whatever notice we need to issue to all shanty towns and let people know we're coming to get them. This thing of every time you plan to go in an area, you issue this and give them 30 days and all this
30 days to go where?
I mean, and so what we happen, the minister even spoke about some of the houses have been rebuilt that they cleaned from shanty towns that they cleaned up. And now, as they cleaned up, had that massive cleaning going on in Abaco, people began to move, and we knew this more than a year ago, that it was growing in Andros. We need to be more quick and more decisive in these actions when we're dealing with these people in shantytown. Right now, a shantytown, be it Bahamian or foreigners, is developing right there on Carmichael Road, right in our eyes, right in front of us. There's no plan community there. There's no plan roadways.
Many Bahamians are squatting on some land
Bahamians
there.
also, yes.
And then how is that happening, y'all? Like,
right in the front of all of us.
Stick a pen, Ellington. How? Let's just examine that. And I know they're Bahamians, and I know they have right to the land. But one, no, I mean, right to be, we would figure, oh no, this is our land, we have a right to it. But guess what? Two rights don't, how'd go? Two wrongs don't make a right. So the Haitians are squatting and breaking the law. That doesn't say we must go squat elsewhere and break the law. And I imagine the property that's now being squatted on by Bahamians belong to someone else. We've just got to clean up the whole mess. But that certainly should not be allowed to happen. And everybody's just either turning their heads to it or just figuring, that doesn't exist. No, it's not.
Bahamians are challenging the system. They see it being allowed for illegal group, and they figure they should challenge the system. The thing, we are a country, a nation of laws. The same laws that control the movement of the government, that you can't go there and pick up their guidelines, their policies that they must follow. But the Bahamians who are now saying, if they could squat, we could squat. And that is why it's so important. It's like rude children, you know. If you say, I can do this, follow through.
Do it.
Follow through.
We just need to have things in place that if you see something happening, one structure starts to go up, you deal with it immediately. How people can move in a place and develop a whole community right under our nose, and then we've got to go get and move resources to deal with that whole 40 houses. When you see 1, 2, deal with it right there. And we need to run this place as a country. We need to govern this country as a country run by laws and
stuff. Bahamas is not a tuck shop. And so
exactly.
You can't go and figure you're doing this because you're frustrated of that. It really should not work that way. And why it's being allowed and has been allowed this long is sort of, it shows on all of us.
Because the side effect of people, Shanique, it's worth it for them to move from one place to the next when you come to demolish. It's worth it for them. And so we're not really getting nowhere. We're going to be doing this forever and ever.
I'll tell you this, you all, the Department of Immigration released something yesterday, and this is when I said and I teased at the top of the show that, listen, they're standing on business and you're all going to be very happy about it. 9 foreign nationals convicted in the magistrate's court. This was yesterday. And they are convicted of overstaying their time. That does happen in the Bahamas. You know, we question it many times and say, who monitors these people when they come? Who? Well, apparently they are monitored, not in as big as a number as we would like, but they are being monitored. So they are charged with overstaying and illegal landing, and they all pleaded guilty and were convicted. The breakdown is, I think there was 6 Haitians and 1 Mexican that were convicted. All the individuals were ordered to be turned over to the Department of Immigration for deportation upon paying fines or completion of their sentences. So they were sentenced as well. The department remains committed to upholding the laws of the Bahamas and encourages the public to report immigration violations by contacting the hotline, which is 604-0249. That's 242-604-0249. 0249 or 242-604-0171 or 2.
Excellent.
Yeah, your thoughts, your thoughts.
Something with what you read, they were charged with overstaying, listen to that carefully, and illegal landing.
Illegal landing.
Those two don't go together.
How don't go?
Illegal landing means you came here illegally, so you have no time as relates to overstaying. If you came here on a scheduled flight and you were given a certain amount of time.
No, you're right. No, but you know what? So illegal landing,
in.
you're right, because at the airport, we want to know what the operations are. Immigration director, come here and sit and talk, because what's the operation? Because if Sue shows up at the airport and has no right to be here, meaning papers, nothing can provide no kind of real reason for being here, they should be turned, just a whole U-turn, an entire U-turn, right there, go right back.
And I've seen that happen at the airport.
It has happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
but who pays for them?
This thing of
Who pays for them to go back? What'd you say?
overstaying and illegal landing, no, could be
I don't
one
think
or the other. It can't be both.
But it was enough people that one be applied to one and another charge be applied to another. Because
Maybe
like
that's
you
the
say,
scenario.
it cannot be both.
No, it
But
cannot
what
be
I
both.
like about it is that the fact that it is happening.
It's happening.
And it can be a deterrent now, because they say, oh boy, the Bahamas taking this
Bahamas
thing.
is getting strict.
Yeah, pressure tall.
Pressure tall,
Yeah,
yeah.
that has
Yeah.
always happened.
Yes.
I've always seen people turn around. at
Well,
the
now
airport.
because guess what, y'all do in secret, it don't matter. People feel as though nothing is being done.
Let
What you
us
did
know.
right now was
Absolutely.
fantastic. Put it out there.
Yes.
Put it out there. What's the secret about? Send these people home and let us know.
Yeah.
That's all we want. Let us know. Let us know how much of Shaquan them gone home and whoever else it is. These different people, and not just the dark-skinned ones either. Let us know whoever else
Yeah,
being sent
Mexican.
home. So, yes, let us know.
Yeah.
Bahamian people are tired, and every nation you pay attention to is fighting for their sovereignty.
Yes.
And this is exactly what is happening
This
here
is a
in the
global
Bahamas.
thing. This is not local.
Absolutely.
And national security is also a very big concern here with that. Not only the jobs and all of that, but the national security. When you don't know who is in here in your border, you don't know what
yeah.
they're doing.
It's a
and
dangerous
what
thing.
it's
No, it
very
is.
dangerous.
It
It's a
absolutely
dangerous
is.
thing.
Listen, we are going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to look at what the former Prime Minister, Dr. Minnis, is proposing. He said not one fast food. What y'all think about that? Quick, very quick. Not one fast food. Who kissed their teeth?
I kiss my teeth because you're picking on the family islands. All these fat people in Nassau.
And they father in the family islands?
Nah.
Well, I guess he's trying to avoid not going to the family islands.
That is something that
Listen to me.
I don't think-
Kalani people could fly out here if they need help. You're trying to say let whoever want to go to a family island in terms of a fast food establishment, let them go.
You have a choice. We have it mightn't be Kentucky, but we get some good fried chicken.
No, you do. No, but he's saying international. We know we got them little chicken shack all over dotting the islands, and they need to doggone be questioned and looked at.
You have a choice.
But so Peggy is saying, Dr. Minnis, excuse me, slow your roll. What you're saying, Ellington?
Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think he can go ahead and
He has
blanket that like that.
He
No,
has nothing to lose. He could say
It's a
whatever he
good
wants.
thing for us to look at how where we license them and where we allow them to be, and how many of them, how easy accessible they are to our
No
people.
wonder
It's a discussion we need to have.
y'all could play with people's health. That's what y'all could do. We're going to talk about it when we come back right after this.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Shop early to get your uniforms and catch Janae's Uniform Center's buy 4 get 1 free sale. Pre-monogrammed and regular school shirts, dry fit and cotton polos, jumpers, skirts, boys long and short pants, PE shorts, underclothes, tights, socks, neckties, belts, sleeping mats, hair accessories, and character work desk. Get 50% off backpacks, lunch bags, and raincoats. Buy 4 school shirts, get 1 free. Buy 2 skirts, jumpers, or pants, get the third 50% off. Need embroidery and monogramming done? Visit Janae's Uniform Center early. Beat the back to school rush. Janae's Chesapeake Road back to school special. Restrictions Restrictions apply.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance Management. Nobody does it better.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Well, of course, before the break, you heard me talk about Dr. Minnis, and what he is talking about is banning fast food establishments, particularly the international ones, from setting up shop on family islands. This happened, of course, as the Minister of Health, and there was a debate, a compendium of bills to move health care and the provision of health care and also the wellness aspect of health care forward in the Bahamas to keep Bahamians healthy, that we would all pray and hope, right? And so what Dr. Minnis is saying is that, listen, it isn't in place now, and the government should not consider, whomever that government is, consider even giving approval for fast food restaurants to be on any of our family islands. Now, of course, you heard before the break, there was a whole lot of different mixed views on it. Like, excuse me, let the people decide. Let the people use their own discretion. Like, no way, you can't dictate that. So, but can we? Well, welcome to Beyond the Headlines, a health advocate himself, particularly in the naturopathic space, Dr. Jamal Monker. Thank you very much for being here. Dr. Jamal, of course, is president of New Life, just the whole health and wellness, not only restaurant, but really helping people get healthy and regain their health. When you heard this, that the former Prime Minister is proposing and pushing, your thoughts?
Well, hello, Bahamas, and thanks, Shanty, for having me here today to chime in on this conversation,
yes.
I should say. I agree, to be honest with you, because, like I said, from the onset, from Dr. Sebi came to the Bahamas, I was an advocate for natural living and promoting natural foods. If it's up to me, to be honest with you, I'll say the whole Bahamas nationally.
The entire
let's
Bahamas,
make it national.
yes.
I wouldn't just cherry pick on the island. I mean, if it's not there, then why bring it there? I see Turk and Caicos. When I went to Turks, there wasn't any fast food.
How recent was this?
It was in 2016. I don't know if anything changed.
Mm-hmm.
But to my knowledge, I don't think fast food chains are allowed in Turks.
Really?
Yeah, and if we look at the bigger scale, first world country, United States.
Just look
Look what Donald Trump did with RFK. Look what he's doing. He's rooting out.
Cleaning up as best as they can. You're right.
Yes.
From the various, there's a certain thing that I like to eat, but I keep thinking about the coloring in it. Just some Cheetos. But no, because I'm like, you've got to take these things seriously.
Yes.
And so what RFK is doing is trying to, RFK Jr., RFK, what he's doing is trying to clean up America's diet.
Yes. And this is a bipartisan issue. Just because Menace is an FNM, it doesn't mean that the prevailing thought should be aligned with the government. If he's saying something that is right,
and makes sense,
all Bahamians, we should look at it. For me, I'm in the front line. Menace is in the front line. I see.
Why do you think it's so important for what he said, based on what you see?
Because I see 11-year-old with diabetes mellitus. I see 7-year-old, and when you ask them what they're drinking, what they're eating for breakfast,
that's it.
It's startling. And so the access...
Give an idea, give an example.
Well, people say, for instance, sugary drinks, right. Energy drinks, 7, 8 in the morning before they have a cup of tea. Me growing up in Cat Island, we drink strong tea. We had access to bush medicine. And even in the modern society, the access to the sugar. And not even the carbs now, the carbohydrates, the simple carbs.
Yep. They break down as sugar.
Yeah, so we see that happening now. And there's a correlation between the grade point average, the learning, the body ability to learn, because sugar is in the system, and it's the addiction factor. They're addicted to this. And so the children now, the generation, I should say, are slave, where you can't go to bed until you have a late night snack. And if the body can't metabolize or slow down or fast, I promote intermittent fasting. I don't believe you should eat after 8 p.m. So if you have people eating 3-course meal, fast food, 11 p.m., then what do you think is going to happen? What's going to be the implication 10 years from now? We see metabolic syndrome, which is chronic disease like diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol. When I was growing up, we didn't have 7-year-olds with diabetes. It's routinely now. It's routinely now.
Yeah, and many of them are insulin.
Many on insulin right now. We see females, 16-year-old with fibroid tumors, ovarian cancer. I'm talking 16, 17 years old. So there's a correlation. And so, like I said, if we believe in the Bahamas that we shouldn't have this discussion, we just need...
We are fooling ourselves.
We'll just look at international. Okay, number 1. We're number 6 in the world for obesity. Out of 7 billion people on Earth.
Yes.
The Bahamas hold a record I'm not proud of. Number 6. Now, with obesity comes what? It comes a plethora of disease. It comes with what? Diabetes, cholesterol, heart conditions, allergies, and I can go on and on and on and on. We see a lot of sleep apnea in 14-year-old, 15-year-old.
That young?
Yeah, from being obese. It goes on and on. Even like we see there's high rate of suicide. We see kids neurotic and just can't handle pressure. Like when we were 16, 17, 13, we could have dealt with whatever, but now you just raise a voice at them, they're ready to commit suicide because the sugar have their brain under attack. So we need to have a discussion on maybe incremental deduction. How can we move, okay, if there's a gap of fast food, what do we replace it with? So maybe
that's what we must do. But the family islands don't need that because, Jamal, we've got to begin promoting again eating from the ground.
But when you go on a family island, what do you expect?
You could barely
fresh
fish.
Fresh,
and the
majority,
majority you go on, unless you order that ahead and you have a special cook and everything for you, you can't find seafood.
Listen, I don't know how much you all been on a family island.
You can't find it.
But when you go on a family island, when you taste the fish, or when you taste the whatever there, it just tastes different. It's just an organic feature the family island has.
When you can find it, because I'll tell you, while Dr. Menace is talking about your international franchises, but there are many local little chicken shack houses. And the thing about that...
that's right.
Little chicken shack houses.
Because it's cheap.
And so when you go there and you say, well, can I have grouper fingers? It's still it's unhealthy, but it's fish. It's fried, but it's fish. And it is not fried in the best oils and all this stuff.
That's
another thing.
Yeah.
So when you say, they tell you they don't have that on the menu.
Yeah.
It's rare to now go to a family island and find seafood.
Well, one time ago growing up, when you go to a fish eatery, the fish had 2 things on it, salt and pepper, and they would mash the salt and the pepper, and people would love that because it had this unique, that Scotch bonnet pepper, that unique flavor.
Yeah.
This whole thing with MSG and all these different things that they add that is Americanized, and we change the way we cook our food. But people want that indigenous,
people,
traditional.
Besides the MSG, they add sugar. Sugar is added to almost every pot now to make it taste better.
But we dip it in flour now.
Well,
the oil's already bad, and then we get the white flour.
Yes.
We put the fish in the white flour. This is a new thing. This ain't something that we
the diet has become just too much.
Yeah.
And we often craved years ago what the rich man eats, and this just the rich man in quotes. Just anybody who eats rich then or eat a lot.
Yeah.
But then you end up with what the rich man has. And whereas he has the means to address himself, but you notice what's rich nowadays, wealthy people are not necessarily the biggest anymore.
No.
That in fact, it's trending among the wealthy to be as thin as possible.
Yes.
But it's the people who can least afford it, who go after this food that is not good for them, and they not only aesthetically are they looking a certain way, but what else comes with that, where people like Dr. Jamal Monker have to step in.
But the Bible said we perish for lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
And so you see, earlier you see persons live to be centurion routinely. Look at the obituary today. You see persons struggling to be 40 and 50 years old, and if you make it to 70, they call that old age disease. And to me, that's ludicrous. How can somebody not get 70 that the Bible promises us?
The Bible promises us more than that. People
go
on that one scripture.
But that's right.
But he talked about 120.
But my point is, when you look at the people with less, the people who had less, they attain more with less, because they live to be 90, 100 years old. Couldn't read, couldn't write, but they were more in tune to the Bible.
Because they stick with eating just a certain amount. I mean, look where the centurions are today, and what we call the blue zones of the world.
Yes.
Well, how they live, how they eat, more in particular, what they eat, and when they eat, and just the different their lifestyle.
I know a lady on Cat
different.
Island. She was climbing a coconut tree at age 84, 85. She was climbing a coconut tree. I know a 16-year-old guy climbing a coconut tree because he drinks milk every day.
Yeah.
So his bones don't have what they say, the vitamin D. You get it from the sun. So it's a completely different paradigm now. We need to educate the people. Now, in fairness, I had a discussion with the Minister Glennis Hanna, Jomo Campbell, and Minister Juan Miller, and they're very open. I think we just need to focus more and put more emphasis on the expedition in the conversation, not just talking, but we need to now make it a reality.
And it's going to be unpopular, many of the decisions, but you're saving lives. You're keeping people healthy.
Yes.
Those things that you mentioned, those conditions, they destroy people. It's good when people can recover from them and go on to be healthy. But then you've got to know what to do from that point on. And so fast foods, what are the dangers, Jamal, of fast foods?
Well, the first thing is, like, I saw a lady with 2 amputations in the wheelchair, and she was drinking a soda. And so nobody told her that you have diabetes. If you drink soda and you eat all these high carbs food, just can exacerbate your problem. Nobody told her that. They just told her to keep the prescription on that.
Prescription, that's it.
So we need to educate persons. Now, the danger of fast food, again, like I said, it causes fat to build up in the body. It interferes with the brain. Hormones. Endocrine, what we call endocrine disruption. It impacts the thyroids. And thyroid is something that deals with metabolism, sleep, fertility. We have so much case of infertilities. We see tumors, fibroid tumors. We see persons can't sleep, insomnia. We see energy deficiency. Now, these carbs may spike your sugar. These sugary drink may give
quickly.
like cocaine, give you a crash, and it makes you addictive. So it's hard to get people off these things.
Yeah, food is an addiction.
Yeah, so you'll see people stop, and next thing you know, they sneak in under the table because they are slave to the food.
Yeah.
So that's why I said we need to not just talk about it, we need to find ways to bring that to the forefront.
But the thing about fast foods that Dr. Minnis mentioned, including our own version of it, meaning the little chicken shack stuff, but let's go back to the international grade. Many of these things are curated in labs.
Yes.
Right? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, they're lab-based, they're chemical-based, and the body's organic, the body's natural.
And so the body don't recognize
the body don't recognize.
But you keep piling that in there.
Putting foreign things into the body.
Then beside adding the unique little preservatives and seasonings and all that, there's sugar added, there's salt added. That's why it's so strong in sodium.
It disrupts the harmony, the flow of the body, the endocrine system, the hormonal system. Most people with fibroids, we've even seen persons with hot flashes. We reverse them during menopause phase by restoring balance in their hormones, by taking them off food with certain endocrine disruption that disrupts the endocrine system, the hormonal system, chemical imbalances. These food has certain food they inject with certain chemicals. So we need to show people how to organically grow your food. You know, even with chicken back in the day, they had to naturally, you need the pressure cooker to cook it because the meat was tough. But they had these organic chicken that they grew. They did not all these injections that they inject into it to grow.
And that is why it's so awesome. And you may dare say, who Dr. Minnis thinks he is? How dare he comes into our food? You know, Dr. Minnis, you have access and you could drive to anywhere you want to drive in Nassau and go and pull up and say, can I order? And so we want that too in the Family Islands. But if you understand what your health is and the fact that it's awesome that you actually don't have access to these things, you would applaud that thought. Because in Italy, for example, they have to drive many, many miles to meet one McDonald's. Italians have rejected fast food.
Look how small and slim they are.
Kids, of course, they're very thin. They're very thin. They cook, 99% cook their meals and enjoy that and have people over to dinner or the family having dinner. The other 1%, they might go to a restaurant, but it's what they order. Their pasta is not laden with all that heavy cream and stuff that we call the fettuccine and all that. They don't do that kind of stuff. That's not even Italian. And what I'm trying to say is this. When you see healthy populations with people who are 80, 90, 100, it don't happen by happenstance. It's an intentional effort, and it really is what they grew up with, and they've decided they don't care to even veer from that. That's what I'm talking about. They don't care to veer from that.
It got so bad a few years ago, particular food groups were proposing to serve statin drugs along with a meal.
No dear.
Because they saw the correlation with cholesterol. And so they say, rather than put people out of jobs, let's just sell a statin along with the meal. That's how ridiculous it's getting.
No, it is. It's very ridiculous, you know. And so the thing is, again, I wanted to have this separate discussion on that thought. Again, the bill to address the overall health of the nation and moving forward and how that should look. I think Dr. Darville led that debate, but Dr. Hubert Minnis is coming out boldly and saying, listen, let's just jump ahead of this, eh? How about this? While we try to deal with Nassau and Grand Bahama, how about we not have any international fast food brands or franchises go to any Family Islands? And you know what this show says? And Dr. Jamal Monker?
Let's do it.
Go right ahead.
Yeah.
Go right ahead. Don't give approval for none of it. People don't need to waste their hard-earned money on trying to regain their health. Let's move forward with other things. I thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Any final comment?
Yeah, well, I just want to tell the people to be encouraged out there and let's try to educate ourselves. Don't let no one push stuff on you and force you into some type of agenda. You take control of your life. Physician, heal yourself.
Physician, heal yourself. Let food be thy medicine.
And let medicine be thy food.
And it ain't gonna come from fast food restaurants either. Not that kind, medicine and then food. But listen, I thank you so much. I thank you. I know we'll discuss this so many more times because listen, the people love what they love. And if you see them traveling to the Family Islands in the morning time, they loading with certain things. Yeah. That's all I have to say. I call no names, catch no blame. But listen, thank you so much, Dr. Jamal Monker, and all of you. Thank you very. I hope you all were taking notes. By the way, this is hugely important. It really is no laughing matter. It really is important, and it's a good idea that certainly I applaud. Beyond the Headlines is back right after this.
After I was in a plane crash in June 1983, I lost my left arm. I had some good friends came along, fishing guides. They said, man, we can teach you to fly fish. Exuma. Can you see? Look at it, man. One of the nicest places you want to be in the world. There were challenges learning to cast, learning to put a fly on a leader, learning to tie the different knots. For me, as a handicapped individual, as a matter of fact, I don't really feel handicapped because I could do everything, man. Anything anybody could do, I think I could do it too. Because with your mindset to do anything, no matter what you are, what you look like, what's happening to you, you can do it. Persons in our positions, it's hard to get fundings and very, very expensive. SBDC would be helpful in regards to help funding people with disabilities. So nothing is impossible if you're disabled, any kind of disability. Put faith in God and trust God. Believe you will overcome.
2026 GAC MPOW every week for 5 weeks. Every 10 reward points earns you 1 digital entry. The more entries you gain, the better your chances to win. 5 weeks, 5 cars. Will you be one of our lucky winners? Catch the keys today, only at Island Luck. Island Luck reminds you that it's only a game, so game responsibly.
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience, with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Of course, you've seen the headlines now for the last week and a half, 2 weeks, the biometrics voters card and what it's intended to do. In fact, you just heard last evening, former Prime Minister Minnis said, listen, it's a good idea. It's something he introduced in terms of a bill since he was in office, but of course that didn't go anywhere. And now that the Davis administration is moving forward with it, along with the Parliamentary Registrar Department, to just let it all make sense, to bring us up into modern times and all that, we are saying, okay, so what is this all about? Many people have so many different views on the biometrics voters card. Many people feel as though, listen, this is the end of times. What is the Bahamas dabbling in? And it should be dabbling in this direction? Well, we're going to just allay all those fears, really bring some common sense discussion and thoughts to it. And I'm happy to have the heads of the Parliamentary Registrar Department here joining me. Please welcome, good evening as well, Parliamentary Commissioner Harrison Thompson and the officer and the senior executive in charge of this whole project, the biometrics project. This is Lucretia Roll Dean. Dean Roll. I know I had it. Also in charge of moving this, number one, getting all the information, ensuring that there are no hiccups and nothing wrong with what's going on, and that it's rolled out properly. And so, and to answer the questions many of you have. And so thank you all so much for being here. It's good to have you both here, Parliamentary Commissioner and also Mrs. Dean Roll. Mrs. Dean Roll, what is your position again?
Project manager.
Project manager, yes. She's the one in charge of getting this all together and properly rolling it out, seeing that it's done properly. And so, welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you, Shanique, and good evening, Bahamas.
This biometrics voters card system is really nothing new. I was reading an article where Dominican Republic is, I guess, in the process of doing the same thing. It's in other places as well. Give us an idea of where this is being used, and then what difference noticeable difference has it made in those jurisdictions?
Shanique, I'll let our project manager address that issue at this time because she's dealing basically with the biometric card.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Yes, the biometric card is being used in some of the Caribbean islands, and as you indicated, Dominican Republic is one of them that are coming on stream, and some international countries also.
Tell us about what difference have they noticed, because Bahamians are very skeptical when it comes to bringing on something new, particularly around their politics and election. And I know you all have seen it, and maybe just kind of in unbelief stared at many of what's being said on social media, whether it's maybe this administration's attempt to commit fraud and steal the election and all that. Let's just talk about how sound this biometric system is set to be and is proven to be.
The biometric card would be a card or tool used for a register. It is not something that you would use for voting. The voting process will be the same. But what you have with a biometric card is you have more surety of who this person is. You have more transparency. You have less duplication or no duplication of identities.
So you're saying with the voter's card, that as it presently presents itself, that can be duplicated in any which way. What this card will do as your identification before you go in and actually have your thumb put into that ink is ensure that you are who you say you are, and you can only do that once.
Yes, it ensures that you are who you are, and you do it once. You will be approved, in fact, for voting before you reach the voting station on election day, because with the biometric card, you apply for the card or you get verified if you're on the continuous register. And once you have that card, the card goes through bio information, ABIS, automatic bio information system, whereby it scans to see who this person is and if there is any duplication. And it ensures that this is you, whether you're a twin or somebody that's looking like you or trying to be you. The information that you give and your biometrics will be compared.
In addition to that, Shanique, there'll be an e-poll book at every polling station. The e-poll book will have a copy of the register and your counterfoil. The card, you will vote the same way that you voted in the last elections. The voting process will not change. Okay, you would come, you would be identified. The presiding officer will go through the preliminaries to get you to give you your ballot paper. You'll have your paper ballot paper. You ink your finger as usual. You go in the booth, you vote, and you come back. It's the same process, just that the card will give us more security features. On the back of your card is intended to be a QR code, which will contain your information, your biometrics, and then that will safeguard you. We're trying to avoid fraud at all costs. And we had some duplications in the past that we're trying to clean up now and to avoid that happening in the future. So we want to make sure that if you, Shanique, come to vote, Shanique Miller is the one who will vote, rather than your sister or your cousin.
Right. Now let's talk into the work that is going into making this as seamless as possible, and to also not having Bahamians be very skeptical about it and questions about it. And will it be truly a legitimate question? I know you all have heard this one as well. Will it be ready for the 2026 general election?
Well, we don't know when the elections will be held, but we are making every effort to have the cards ready as soon as possible. We're working with our partner, and every effort is being made, and we're in full throttle going forward to make sure that the cards are ready by early next year. So we cannot predict when the elections will be held, but early next year we know we'll have the cards in place according to our sponsor.
Right. Right, exactly. So now let's just walk us through where you at now, and then the road to getting there. The road to getting to, I know we saw something, I think it was even just yesterday, that you were saying early 2026 you hope to be able to start issuing these biometric new voters cards?
Yes. Yes, early 2026. In short order, once the regulations are in place and everything, we'll begin the verification process for persons who are on the continuous register. Once you're on the continuous register, then you will come in to one of the parliamentary registration sites, whether it's head office or the satellite offices in the Family Islands and in Nassau, and you would verify. Verification will give you like about 5 or 6 questions, maybe 8, asking you to confirm your name. You bring in your government-issued ID or the purple card that you have, your passport. We'll ask for your name, ask for your occupation. These are the things that are on the books. We'll be updating the system, making sure that you are who you are. If you've changed address, so you confirm where you live, and once you confirm that, then you go through the transfer process that they normally do now to transfer a person from one address to the other, because you have to be living in an area a certain amount of time in order to be voting for that constituency, whatever. And we also asking for your biometric. If you give us permission to take your biometric, that's your picture and your fingerprints from our passport system, the Bahamas passport system. If you say yes, then they would go through a migration process where that data will be migrated from the passport system into the parliamentary registration new system that they're now creating. And you would only have to come to pick up your card when the card is ready in early 2026. If you opt not to give your biometrics during the verification, then you would come into the parliamentary registration department or the satellite offices when the hardware, that's the peripherals for picture and fingerprint scanner, signature pad, all those things are there. You would come in and you would do those then. However, it is my understanding that biometrics is not mandatory. But if you want the new...
What do you mean not mandatory?
It's not mandatory for you to...
vote. Once you're on the register, on the continuous register, you'll be able to vote in the next election, whether you have a biometric card or not. We don't want to disenfranchise any Bahamian who have registered to vote. Okay?
Yes.
But,
now,
but we encourage everyone to get the card.
Because it'll make
if you want the card,
it'll make it more simple,
biometrics. If you want your card, biometrics.
If you need to renew, for example, say you lost it
and you new card, you would have to have biometrics, taken your facial image and your
But so this sounds almost like there's a little issue with it. Why is it that it sounds sort of, you're saying if you want to have your biometrics done, because people are skittish about that.
I don't know if it's an issue or such, but like questions, real things people ask when anytime you have change, but it's a change management of the system that is doing. But the voting process, these things, the biometric, as we heard in the news, and when you read in the legislature, it was down from 2020 that we must head this road, and we're now headed that way. So I don't know if it's a bad issue or what, but it's people have questions, and that's fine, and that is always good. So Parliamentary Registration Department intends to do a lot of engagement and training and teaching as we smooth this rollout.
But personally, Shanique, when we register to vote, we have our pictures taken. The only thing that will be added is our fingerprints. Okay, that will be added to the new card. I guess some people have some concerns, but I wish to assure them that there's no need to be overly concerned about anything.
When you mentioned the continuous register, explain that, because what if someone, how do you know if you're registered? What if someone did not vote maybe the last election? How would they know that they're on this register? And a question that continues to come up, and because many people are under the impression that with each election cycle, you've got to register.
That was the case prior to 2017. In 2017, the laws were changed down to implement the continuous register. And once you were registered in 2017, you didn't have to register in 2021 when the next election was held. So if you were registered from 2017, you were on the continuous register, right?
And so there's no need for you to show up now?
No need for you to show up right now for re-registration.
Right.
Very soon we'll be talking about verification for the new cards.
Right.
And once we do that, we invite every Bahamian who is registered to come and verify. As Ms. Dane was explaining, we would ask certain questions. And if you agree that we can use your biometrics from the passport, then you don't need to come in to make all those trips. So we're trying to minimize the time and the cost and everything else as much as possible. So that is where we're at now.
Now, if an individual is in possession of their voter's card, they also don't need to worry about this biometric system, at least right now.
Not right now. If they have the paper card, if you have the paper card, you are good. You are ready to go if election is called tomorrow. But once we start the verification, we would expect for you to come in to be verified. Okay, so that you could get this new biometric card. We have some samples, but it's not the final product that it probably looks something like...
The stuff that you're considering.
Yeah, something like...
Okay, look very similar to the driver's license.
Yeah.
I don't know if on this white paper, if you can
It's
see that.
yeah.
If you can actually see that, Justin. But yeah, there it is. So right, So you guys have you're able to better see it. Okay, so
it's similar to a driver's license
like
that you can put in your wallet or whatever,
yes.
and that you could secure it even better than the card, the paper card we have now.
Yes, yeah, and so this would also obviously remove the headache moving forward of having to come and either renew or you lost your card, because it's that sort of credit card field that goes into your wallet or wherever you would keep it. That just again makes it another form of identification as well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the card will be good for 10 years.
For 10 years? So 2 election cycles, you don't have to worry about that?
No, ma'am.
This is good.
And you would maintain your number, your registration number. We would change the card every 10 years, but your number that you registered with, you would maintain that throughout your lifetime.
Okay.
So the number that you have now will still transfer with you with the new card.
With this.
Yes.
With this. And so, the Parliamentary Registrar Department is doing a whole lot of things to modernize. I know when you stepped in, you're relatively new there, Commissioner Thompson. When you stepped in, you were really tasked with getting things as they should be, and also ensuring that people were placed in areas that they were best suited and their strong points. Yes. How is that the operation of the Parliamentary Registrar Department going? So because your area comes under heavy scrutiny on every election season, and so people want to make sure that you ahead of time are ensuring that things are whatever needs to be in place, that those things are in place.
We are working daily, Shanique. The staff work from early morning till late evenings right now, making sure that we are preparing ourselves for whenever elections are called. In reference to staffing, we have brought in quite a number of senior staff members who are assisting us in ensuring that we do the right thing and cover everyone and everything that is involved in the election process. And I want to thank Ms. Diane Roll, who came in as the project manager with all her expertise in terms of helping us with this project, because she's really well versed in this, and we couldn't do it without her.
And the Family Islands as well.
Yes, and
yes,
the Family
Islands are included.
Yes.
The whole Bahamas.
Yeah, I thank you both very much. Of course, we will continue to follow this as you all make your announcements and your various sort of meet the various deadlines as you're setting and moving forward. We will continue talking about it and focusing in on it for sure. And thank you all very much for tuning in, for just, I guess, breaking it down so that we have a better understanding, we're more comfortable with the idea. And of course, as we all work our way to 2026 in the general election. Thank you so much, Commissioner Thompson. Thank you very much, Ms. Dean Roll, Project Manager of the whole Biometrics voters card rollout. Thank you so much for stopping by as well. Absolutely, my pleasure. I want to thank at the top of tonight's show the Hot Topics panel discussion. Of course, speaking about some of the big stories that have your attention. Certainly, of course, we continue to look at those issues and speak your voice, your thoughts, and also hear from you as we continue to kind of just give a perspective on them. And then, of course, in the middle of the show, Dr. Jamal Monkur on the thoughts of not even allowing fast food. I should ask you all that. You all won't be in on that? What you all think? not even allowing fast food, international fast food establishments to be approved for any family island. And then in this segment of the show, the Parliamentary Registrar Department talking about the upgrade to the entire voting system and voters' cards as they prepare for the 2026 general election. Thank you both once again. And thank all of you this evening for being here. It certainly is my pleasure having you along. And I look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow evening. For the entire Beyond the Headlines team, I'm Shanique Miller. Make it a great evening, everyone.